Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Twisted Handlock against Gothik the Harvester. Gonna look for our giants. And we get two of them. Of course, he has a lot of removal, so they're gonna die. But it's one of the few ways we can hope to get ahead on board. Okay, unstable ghoul. Hey! Really like his greeting. Not too worried about him. Oh yes, double giants. Double Moltons. Please, for the love of God, give me an Argus. Or a taunt giver of some kind. That'll die to Hellfire, because this guy does 1 damage to everything. So we're going to work on getting closer. Please don't coin Unrelenting Rider. Okay, that works. Board wipe time. Oh, that's kind of scary. A lot of damage on board already. But we can do this. That's gonna face a corruption. And that might mean he doesn't attack into it. Still need to find a way to kill this guy though. 2 damage. I guess I Shadow Bolt it. Oh man, it's like too much choice here. I can get a lot of big guys out. I can Void Terror to save that guy.
I got this.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, well now we're using Void Terror on him. That guy's gonna die anyway. It's gonna be down to 6. Oh Jesus. You get through that puppy. I know, another corruption. You used 2 though, right? 4, 6, 8.
This is it.
Ah, that's pretty smart. I kill you in 3 hits if you... I think that actually helps me. Biggest ones. How aggressive do I try be here? Problem is this guy can keep growing. I don't think we're gonna lose just yet.
Into the breach.
We have a lot of damage on board. We have some healing.
Shields up.
Something like Alex Strahls would be ideal. Crash into these. Be dumb.
Love my new recipe.
Oh, I actually wanted to trade. Okay, he dies anyway. 25, 26 damage. I think we start going for it. Two, 4, 6. Can trade them all. But no, we're going for it. It's time, baby. It is time. We've paid our dues. We're getting the win this time. I think we're doing this one. Should have tapped first to see what we get. Alex Strahls, thank you for joining the party. Okay, max BM we can get is to get him down to 2 and then hit him for 8. Yes, another one off the checklist.
Why doesn't Gothik come back as Spectral Gothik?
Come on! Come on! Okay, let's take a look at the deck. Here is our Twisted Handlock deck. Gets that name from the Twisting Nethers in it, as well as just having some oddities like Sea Giant instead of Mountain Giant. We'll get to why that's the case. Soulfire standard, it's a bit of a tempo boost, though discarding a card really hurts in this game because he's getting so many cards. If you think about this matchup one way, you have to basically deal with his 30 cards with your first 15. If you can do that, that's one way you win, is by actually like dealing with his entire deck. Corruption is, so originally I had Siphon Soul. Siphon Soul is just too expensive. You use your whole turn killing one of his guys, and he is almost always playing at least 2 guys per turn if they're expensive. If they're cheap, he fills up his entire board. Siphon Soul just too slow. Corruption, he gets to do damage with it once, but it's a way of marking something for death, like an early Undertaker, so it doesn't keep growing. Voodoo Doctor is just a one-off for a little bit of extra heal. You get so low and so close to death, you need all the heal you can. Earthen Ring Farseer is 3 health for 3 mana. This is 2 health for 1 mana. It's pretty efficient if you really think about it. Ancient Watcher is in there to taunt up with Sunfury and Argus, and also to Shadow Flame. You'll need to clear his board multiple times generally, like 2 or 3 times, and your Shadow Flames, Hellfires, and Twisting Nethers are all in there for that purpose. Again, if you think about it, you have to deal with his 30 cards with you have to deal with 30 cards of his with 15 of yours, unless you actually get lucky and get big guys out that can kill him like this game. The way you do that is value cards that kill like 5 for 1, 4 for 2, all that kind of stuff. Sunfury, standard for taunt. Shadow Bolt, it's so important to kill his Abominations and Undertakers and things. We put in an extra spell compared to Soulfire, which does 4 damage. Earthen Ring for healing. Void Terror is a really good addition. I'm glad I thought this up while I was trying to fall asleep. The thing is, he often runs Corruption on your big guys, like your Molten Giants and Sea Giants. This is a way to do damage with it and then absorb it. So I used to run an Owl, because then you can silence it, but it puts a crappy 2/1 minion on the board. And the problem is, or the advantage of Void Terror is you're also adding stats for the 3 mana, like stats that are not easy to kill off like an Owl. And it can suck in one of your Spectral guys too, to give it even more health and get rid of one guy that's dealing, that's kind of leeching damage off of you. Hellfire for clearing a board of 3 health things or 4 health things if he has an unstable ghoul out, or an Abomination kind of situation. Shadow Flame for clearing the board. Argus for taunt. Leroy, mostly there to combo with Shadow Flame. You seldom actually, you can potentially get in burst damage with him, but it's rare. Twisting Nether's expensive, but clears the entire board, including the leeches on your side, which can be pretty useful to buy. It can be good on turn 8 to prep for turn 9, Alex or Jiraxxus. I started off with just Alex, but put in Jiraxxus. If you do get to the late game, you often have stabilized the board, and you will win as long as you don't die. You'll often be at like 3 health and have a guy leeching you, and you're really at risk of just dying to a drain life or something. You need an Alexstrasza to save yourself, and I often found that he'll repopulate the board and get you low again. You need like one more way to get you back to 15 health. And often you just like are desperate to draw Alexstrasza, but there's only one in your deck. So this essentially gives you 2 guys that can heal you up to 15. Alexstrasza is better, of course, in this context because it also puts an 8/8 body on the board, which can help trade stuff, whereas Jiraxxus is your whole turn and he just keeps coming at you. But that Molten Giant standard, you get low on life quick, so these guys are good. Combos well with Void Terror, as I said. Sea Giant replaces Mountain Giant. You can't afford to just keep tapping for like 4 turns. He'll do way too much damage too quickly, and you're just guaranteed to die. So you end up not being able to fill up your hand, and the Mountain Giants are expensive instead of cheap like they're meant to be. Sea Giants end up most of the time working much better because he tends to flood the board with minions, which means your Sea Giants end up being really cheap, like 3 or 4 mana, which is kind of the reason you put in Mountain Giants. Again, they combo well with Void Terror once they've been corrupted. You attack with it, then Void Terror, and kind of keep them alive in a sense. That's the deck. It's a lot of fun to play in that there's, you know, quirky combos, there's, you know, cards you don't see, like Twisting Nether has an amazing animation, even though it's hardly ever played. Jiraxxus is fun, the Void Terror combos are fun, Corruption is kind of fun. There's lots of cool stuff in here. It's also just frustrating, though, playing against Gothik in general, because he gets off to insane starts that are hard to come back from. But it can be done, we saw it. Twisted Handlock taking down Gothik the Harvester in heroic mode. On to the next challenge. See you next time.